Hello, I'm Ruby Romina and welcome to this timeless pick a card reading. Now, if you don't really know what a timeless card reading is, it's basically a reading that isn't actually determined by the date or the time that this has actually been recorded on. So it's not actually specific to any given period of time. It will have some kind of message for you whenever you, the willing viewer and participant, watches this reading. So there you go. I hope that's actually cleared things up a little bit. Okay, so the question for this timeless pick a card reading is really quite glaringly obvious. It is, do we have a future together? Okay, so while you're actually deciding which card is compelling you towards it the most, perhaps you've got your eye fixed on card 1, or perhaps your intuition is calling you to pick card 2. So do you want to pick the card on the left or the card on the right? Well, no matter which card you decide, there will be a message that will be true for you and your relationship situation and the advice that the universe wants to give to you therein. While you decide which card you are going to choose, I am going to say to you, whatever card you may choose is the card destiny has for you. No matter the answer, yes or no, with the message that's given, you get a lucky throw. A lucky throw? Yes, you heard correctly. You do indeed get a lucky throw. So, okay, let me quickly explain the lucky throw. It's actually quite easy and obvious what it's going to be. I've got 2 gorgeous dice here, and depending on which card you've decided that you're going to pick, I am actually going to throw the dice, and you will actually get your lucky number. Now, this lucky number again will pertain to the specific day and date that you actually are watching this timeless pick a card reading on. So let's see what the lucky number is going to be for you that the universe is selecting. Ooh, number 4. Now let me write that down so I remember, as well as you yourself. Need you to remember as well, but I will be honest, it's more for me because I've got a lot going on here, but I want to give you value, you see. I want you to get the most that you can from this reading. So your lucky number, if you're going to pick card 1, the card on the left, is number 4. This number might pertain to a lottery number. Maybe you can't just decide quite on that lower number that you want to pick on your lottery slip, or it could be something else. It could just be a sign, couldn't it? So you might have to go somewhere at 4 o'clock perhaps, and you don't really want to go. Well, perhaps you should go. So if the number 4 crops up today, take good notice of it. Now let's do the same for card number 2. So if you're choosing the card on the right hand side, card number 2, your lucky number that the universe is giving unto you is 6. Let me write that down as well, again for my own recollection, because I wouldn't want to mess that up. And let me put a dash underneath it so we know that it's a 6, as they do on certain dice, don't they? So there you go. So we've got a number 6. Obviously the dice don't go up to number 9, but I don't want to confuse anyone. Right, so let the pick a card reading for the question, do we have a future together? Let this reading commence. If you've picked the card on the left, card number 1, the answer is ta-da! Yes! Yes, yes, yes. You do indeed have a future together. Okay, now let me elaborate on this a little bit more. You've got a yes. How amazing is that? Here in this card, we actually see a picture of togetherness, of happiness. There's a potential here to settle down with this person, and there's actually the potential to actually have a family. And even if you don't want children, or that isn't on your mind at the minute, this relationship does have the potential for expansion, and it will. It has the potential to grow, to blossom into full romance. So if you have been feeling a little bit uncertain about whether or not your partner and you do have a future together, whether or not your relationship is going to last, if it's going to actually be a long-term relationship, it is actually going to last. You are going to make it with this person, you and them. So if it's a he or a she, it doesn't matter, but you will actually succeed in this relationship. It will prosper you both. It will prosper you both emotionally. Now, whether or not it does financially, that's not really the issue, is it? Because prosperity sometimes is also about emotional prosperity, isn't it? And let's look at this other card here. This is an interesting card. Now, here we have happy couple or a couple, but there are other people watching. So this card actually suggests that there might be a little bit of interference going on in your relationship by perhaps family or other people that perhaps do have your best interests at heart. Now, these people might actually be thinking or suggesting that you and your loved one, that you and that special someone, you and that sexy she or handsome he, are not right for each other. Now, the universe is telling you that if this is the case, if there's anybody trying to interfere in your love relationship, in your romantic union with your significant other, that you have to rise above it. Let them think what they want to think. But the universe is saying that regardless of what other people think, that you do have a future together. So you mustn't be swayed by, or dissuaded, let's just say, by other people's perceptions or opinions about your loving relationship that you have with this person. Perhaps this relationship is a little bit unconventional. Perhaps you both do things differently to how other couples do things. But nevertheless, the universe is saying and strongly suggesting, implying that you do have a future with this person. So all is good, isn't it, in the yes camp? It is indeed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything back again. So if you skip, if the person or anyone that's watching or choosing, let's just say, the second card, then if I cover this all up again, then I think it's going to actually be more of a surprise, isn't it? So we're going to go for the second card now. So if you chose the card on the right hand side, the answer to do we have a future together is, wait for it, wait for it, patience is a virtue. The answer is, ta-da, no. And it is a bit of a drum roll, because if you know that something isn't working out for you, then the best thing to do is to let go, isn't it? To let go amicably, of course. This card here, as we can see, shows a disconnect, let's just say. There's something going on in this relationship, and it's been going on for quite some time, where there really just isn't a meeting of minds. There might be a meeting and meddling of a physical union, so to speak, but there isn't a deep connection here. There's something, there's a wall, a cage, there's something blocking you both from actually going the course, really, seeing it through, seeing this relationship through. And as you can see, the lady really doesn't look very happy, and the man he doesn't look happy either, does he? He looks quite serious. And perhaps with this relationship, the reason why it has come to an end is perhaps because you forgot about being playful. Perhaps everything was all too serious. But the second card, as well, as we can see, also shows that there's something, there really is a deep division. There's a division, and this division, I would say, is more of the mind, of the emotions, communication. And no matter how much you and your significant other, no matter how much that handsome he or sexy she, that person that you really would like to have had a future with, no matter how much you both try to heal any kind of rift, that whenever you heal that rift, something else comes up. And you feel again divided, and you feel blocked, and you feel caged. You no longer feel free to be who you are. You feel as though this relationship is blocking you, and it's as though this relationship, it's just not healthy for you, this relationship, is it? As we can see, we've got the sword there, and that sword isn't going to be lifted out of the ground. In fact, that sword is being dug into the ground. It's being put into the ground with such force that it causes a rift, literally. You can see those two land masses pulling apart from each other. And that's what's happening in your relationship. You're pulling apart from each other. And sadly, I think really that you've known this for quite some time. And instead of feeling as though everything's falling apart, that really it's just time to accept, isn't it, that the relationship isn't actually going to last forever. And, you know, when things end, new things begin, don't they? So let me just put these cards how they were slightly. Okay, so we've got the yes, we've got the no, we've got, I do believe that was there, on there and there. Okay, right, so the numbers were, weren't they? Your lucky number, if you chose card number 1, was number 4, wasn't it? That was your lucky number. I hope I've got this right, I'm sure I have. And yes, the second number was number 6, as I recall. Okay, so if you chose card number 2, remember that just look out for the number 6. Again, it might be that you want to choose that on, you know, for bingo or for a game of chance, that kind of thing. Or it might be the number 6, it might be a time, it might be a house number, that kind of thing. But just go with the number 6 if it appears for you today. And likewise, if you did choose, you know, card number 1, the left-hand card, unfortunately you've got the no. But remember that when a door closes, a window opens. And remember that you've also got lucky number 4 to take away with you as well, haven't you? And likewise, if you did choose, you know, card number 1, the left-hand card, unfortunately you've got the no. But remember that when a door closes, a window opens. And remember that you've also got lucky number 4 to take away with you as well, haven't you? So we've got lucky number 4, and I hope that I've got these all the right way round. So I'm not absolutely sure that I have. Now I'm thinking that it was this way round. So, right, okay. Now I think, this is funny, isn't it? It really is. I think that it's, I think it's time for me to love you and leave you, because I'm making a bit of a bit of a muddle of this. But you've got to laugh, don't you? Sometimes it's good to have a laugh and for things to be a bit funny. So I'm absolutely certain that the lucky number was number 6, and it would help if I had number 6 there, wouldn't it? Okay, so yes, so if you chose card number 1, number 6 is your lucky number, and if you I'm just going to cut this over and out. Bye. Bye for now. I got into a right muddle just now, didn't I, Missy?